Go ahead and call the meeting to order. Roll call. Sean Taylor.
Here.
Lee Hodgen.
Here.
Lisa Jones.
Here.
Eric Lugers.
Here.
I am here. We do have a quorum. First item is approval of minutes from the November 4th meeting. Do we have a motion to approve?
Motion to approve?
Second.
We have a first and a second. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? So the minutes are approved. So now we go to old business, the EDC fee recipient update.
Yes, so if you will recall, we were able to provide grants to 3 nonprofits in the city working in economic development. They're here today to give us an update on the progress of their projects and let us know how things are going and how things worked out for them. So we will start with Franklin Heritage. George Chimble is here today. I think Glenn Ferris is here for support, but he's here. So George, we're ready for you, sir.
So I've got a couple of just handouts that I wasn't able to get out to be printed for you, but it covers actually 2 things. We received a grant from you guys last year.
Thank you.
For our strategic plan, and then for this year, it was for our live event series that we're planning on putting on in 2026. So I've got information about both of those here for you guys. For the live event series, we are going to do 8, at least 8 different events, kind of going from January through April. Right now, we've got around 7 booked. We're looking at adding in a couple more to round out that series. Do you need a copy of these? Yeah. I can also email these to you later. Copies. Thank you very much. No. All right, sorry about that. So you can see we're starting off January 29th. We've got the High Water Troubadours. We've got Puppy Pals. We've got a comedy act. We've got Romanus Record Showcase, Duke Tomato, Assignment of Note. Then we're talking about also possibly organizing a talent show for Franklin or Johnson County as a whole. And then there's a couple of other acts we're looking at that are bluegrass, country, roots rock kind of acts that we think will do well in our community. And also some of them have played at Porchtober, have proven fan bases in the area and do well. So we're just trying to sign those last couple of ones. But we're about to start promoting the Punk and Holler Boys High Water Troubadour show. I think the tickets will go on sale tomorrow, if not tomorrow, the next Wednesday, and get that promoted as a whole concert series once we've got those last 1 or 2 acts booked. So are there any questions about that series? All right. And then I also wanted to talk to you a little bit about our strategic plan, which we had gotten a grant from the EDC for previously. We have gone through a long process this whole year with Johnson Gross Nickel and Associates, who have been tremendous partners in this. We've really taken the time to be able to kind of look at what Franklin Heritage has done and where we're going and kind of what we want to get back to doing that we haven't been able to do recently as we've been reacting to, various things. So we've got a new vision statement, which is to celebrate and amplify our community through preservation and the arts. Our mission is to provide preservation and arts-focused experiences that inspire and educate the community. Then you can see our values there. One of those is helping to strengthen our community and the local economy, which we do in partnership with you guys. And we're also just trying to get more involved in adding more program at the Art Craft, expanding our historic preservation operations, expanding our historic education workshops, and getting back to some of the things that we used to do and just haven't had the time and bandwidth for recently. And so that kind of lays it all out. It's been a really long and fruitful experience for us to really plan out the next 3 years and get ready to just be able to serve Franklin better and Johnson County better and just help out our community as best we can. So I want to thank you guys for helping fund that and make that possible.
Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Next, we've got the Franklin Chamber Foundation. Rosie?
Good morning. As you recall, you gave us $25,000 for our Small Business Capacity Building Grant Program, and thank you so much for that. I think I'm really proud of this program. It's been very impactful for several of our businesses. So we took the $25,000, spent it all, of course. It funneled it through us. We gave $2,500 for technology upgrades for E&M Land Services. They've local business and local folks here that are born and raised in Johnson County. It is an excavating and landscaping service. Farm Girl Mercantile, we gave $5,000 for a workshop barn. If you're familiar with them, it was just a kind of an empty space. She's going to remodel it and utilize that for doing some workshop programs, bringing people into Franklin. It's a little micro-tourism there too. Frank's Guitars, we gave $2,500 for his instrument display case. Generation Art and Frame, they're remodeling a classroom expansion in their basement, $5,000. Haberdasher Artisan Distillery, $5,000 for pumping and blending upgrades. He used to do everything by hand, and now this is going to let him build his capacity. Woven Co. Candle Studios, $5,000 for a Woven Co. on the go mobile candle pouring experience. And that's what we did with the money, and we do appreciate it. I know you were invited to be part of those check presentations, which is always such a fun day for us, all the goosebumps, all the things, and the appreciation of these businesses to expand what they're doing in Franklin is very appreciated by them, and it just helps them grow. And I think also it makes them feel like they are such a good part of Franklin. I think sometimes they're often ignored. There are very few grant programs for just brick and mortar businesses. And so I think this really helps them feel part of Franklin.
Okay. Have you received any feedback from the businesses so far? I know it hasn't been that long, but.
We're kind of tracking them. Some of them have done it, already finished what they were doing. Some of them are in process and in progress. So no, we will ask for a letter when it's finished, so they can. I'll share that with you and kind of let you know what's going on.
Okay.
Yeah.
Any other questions? All right. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much.
Danny was supposed to be here for DDF. I'm not sure what's happened, hopefully nothing serious. But I am on the board, and Glenn Ferris actually is on the board, so I think we can kind of give you guys an update, because I do know what the organization has been doing with that. If you notice downtown, we have the little stickers that are on the ground all around now, the directional stickers. We've got a lot of feedback from visitors and different people that they appreciate that. So it's showing, we have some great things on Jefferson Street, but if you also just go one block south, you've got Middle David Candles, you've got Ann's, you've got Ten Pins, all of that kind of thing. If you go north, you've got Franklin Jewelers and the bookstore in Main and Madison. So those have already been done. We have also done a number of billboards. The billboards are out on 65, and then there is one in the Whiteland. So he's been able to do billboard ads. We've had them running for all of the events. We've had them running for the holiday open house. We were able to do a special one for Jane Rhodes, who retired from being our farmers market manager. So we had one up for her for one weekend. So that was a lot of fun. The third thing that we have done with those have been the ads, radio ads. They've been running on, oh gosh, Glenn, do you remember the radio station? I know. I think it's thank you, because I can never remember that. I don't know why I can never remember that one. But we've had a lot of ads running. It's been great because we've been able to cross-promote our local businesses, as well as the events, as well as the city in general. So the marketing has been going great. It's definitely been noticed. We've definitely seen some improvements. So I think that this has been a really successful point. Some of our businesses have been a little, with tariffs and things like that, their pricing has been a little weird. I know we talked with Josh Hendrickson from Generation Art and Frame, and he said that normally he has a set of suppliers. You will see a price increase once a year, maybe twice. He has had 6 increases in the first 8 months of this year. So obviously, they're a little nervous. Things have been changing back and forth a lot for them. So anything that we can do to promote and help to bring people to their doors, they've really been appreciative of. So yeah, I think it's been a really good, positive program.
Okay, thank you very much. Anybody have any questions for Dana?
I do have one other thing that I just
Yes.
want to bring up. Ellen and I had been talking about this. We do have in our guidelines and the regulations for doing the EDC fees that we are not supposed to promote or to do the same program multiple times. But we have been able to do that with the Franklin Chamber Foundation. I think it's been really successful. Ellen had talked and said if we want to continue being able to do that, we might want to revise those. So I just wanted to get your thoughts, if you think that's something that we should do, if we could get Ellen to look at that and kind of rework those guidelines. Those guidelines were put together 17 years ago. So, I mean, obviously things have changed a lot in 17 years. So if you would like to direct her to kind of relook at those and make those more current, I would appreciate
I
that.
think that would be a good idea. I mean, these organizations didn't exist 17 years ago.
Exactly. We didn't have the foundation 17
Things
years ago.
change, so.
The things they're doing, so. I agree.
I think that would be good if we could revise
Okay.
the guidelines.
Yep,
Perfect.
agreed.
Do we need to vote on that, Ellen, or just
No, I'll
ask
bring
you to
it
do
to
it?
you.
Okay,
and- Yeah.
great. Thank you very much. Thanks, Dana.
You're welcome.
All right, no more old business, so we do have new business, EDC software presentation.
Yes. So Adam Stone is with us today. Adam has had, as I told you guys last month, Adam has been down in the weeds doing the same thing that I do for years and years and years right here in Johnson County. He started out in Greenwood. I'll let him kind of give you his background a little bit. But Adam knows Johnson County compliance inside, outside, and upside down, just like I've told you guys. Things have changed a lot in terms of compliance. Things have changed a lot in terms of abatements. Things are changing even more with SEA 1, with all of these new constraints and things that are coming from the state and different things that we're doing. Projects themselves have changed. We don't run economic development projects like we used to. Companies are not coming in and saying, I want the cheapest taxes, I want the lowest utilities, and I want the cheapest land. That is not what they're coming in and talking to us about anymore. They're wanting to know what the quality of life is. They're wanting to know what the employee base is. They're wanting to know what the community is like and the connections and things like that. And in return, from the municipal side, we are looking at different things as well. We're no longer looking at those, what are they coming in? The investment is crucial, obviously, but it's that return on that investment. It's things like looking at what is the true return on investment per acre on our projects. I know Eric and I have had discussions a lot about how do we kind of make this consistent across the board? How do we know that when we're giving a 7-year abatement for a $10 million project, that return really makes sense for the city? So Adam has worked on some software that does that. So instead of me having 15 tabs up on my computer and 15 different spreadsheets that I'm trying to connect and put together, he has basically put it all together in one program that can actually help us have a better understanding of what we're really getting, what we're looking at, what the actual numbers are. When I run the estimates for you for abatements and tell you that they're going to save X number of dollars, that's a very high level number. The program that I use doesn't get as granular as the program that Adam has worked into. So Krista and I spoke with the mayor about this. Really feel like this software is something that can be used for us for these kinds of things. It can be used through the planning department because it can help us truly evaluate and say, okay, we have a housing development coming in, and this housing development can help us have what kind of return in terms of the property taxes, in terms of the residents who are living there, what kind of, if we're going to have to go to the local income tax, what is that going to look like for us, and all of those kinds of things. So it's a really great, for me, I'm all about the compliance and the abatement, but I know Krista loves the fact that we can get information and data on what our TIF is really doing, how is it really performing, what is that return that we're really getting, and be able to do that. This is proprietary, so Adam is here to give you a very high-level look at this. We can have an executive session to go into the portions that are proprietary, and we can do that with you guys at any point in time. But I really wanted you to see this because I think this will, for me, I know this would help me to give you more and better data. But I also think it's something that you guys can look at and kind of help you understand what that return is and where it's going to go. So I'm going to just pass this over to Adam and let him, if you'll just take it up to the podium, that would be perfect. Thank you, sir.
All right, good morning. Thank you, Dana, and nice to meet you. I had the privilege of knowing some of you, but for those of you that I haven't met yet, my name is Adam Stone. I've been working in Johnson County in the state really my entire career. I started in 2012 with the city of Greenwood. I was the controller, the first controller for the city, and that's when I first got familiar with abatements and economic development from a local government perspective, and really first got a passion in this around maybe 2013, 2014. Abatements are a labor of love in some respects, but I was actually sitting at a council meeting, and on one agenda there was maybe 20 tax abatements approved, all unanimously, and there was about $150 million worth of assessed value deducted in that meeting. And I was sitting there in the same meeting, and we were arguing about police and fire budgets and all these things, and I'm sitting there and I'm just like, there's $100 million of assessed value that just went right through the approval process. And that was when I first personally got the bug to really kind of look at compliance from a financial perspective, and have really just been admittedly geeking out on it for the last 10 years. World's changed a bunch. I'll talk about that really briefly here in a moment. But the way we have looked at it, I remember, like 5-6 years ago, trying to get our arms around it here in Johnson County, which is some of the unique nature of how the county kind of operates in this, literally just printing out all the documents and sitting on an office floor and had literally just a sea of paperwork. And that was when I first realized it was like, man, if we could just figure out a way to just try to make this to where anybody would want to do this, let alone be able to do this. So anyway, I'll give you kind of a brief demonstration of the application. Happy to do a more detailed one at any point. I would say the kind of why should this exist would be the entire state tax outlook just changed this year. And you may or may not know a lot yet about Senate Enrolled Act 1, formerly referred to as SB 1. Basically, it completely changes the revenue picture for every single tax property in the state of Indiana, period. That is a true fact. And therefore, the entire playbook of what types of projects should be incentivized, what types of what revenues and costs are for any given property type, all also then change as a result of these. So projects that 2 years ago may have looked very attractive to the city now look very different when you think about like a local income tax world, or a world where property taxes are basically getting inverted in some respects. So the application was really designed to handle that and provide you all an opportunity to continue to analyze and track projects in a smart way that the city has done in the past, and be able to deal with the new complexity that's coming due. So I'll give you a quick little overview. So the idea here is pretty simple. We want to be able to create an opportunity for your teams to continue to sort of track and monitor projects. So in this case, I just have kind of an example project loaded in here. It goes through sort of all these sort of incentive calculations, the project details, locations, et cetera. It gets incredibly detailed with respect to all the different sort of opportunities and options therein. The biggest thing would be like everything from sort of projections, cost benefit analysis, all those types of things are all kind of factored in. So for example, like, over the life of a project, we think about a TIF duration, it might only be, something of the sense of, 25 years, but the reality is like, you're not doing a project for a 25-year period of time. You've been around since 1823. These projects are gonna have a life cycle that are measured in 50, 60, 70 years. So we wanna be able to make sure we fully present to the community not only the property tax benefits of a potential project, but also all of the other reasons why that project may be merited within your community. So that's kind of a high level. I'm happy to answer any questions, but at the heart of it, the intention here is to make sure that that your community has the best tool possible to continue to make really smart economic development decisions in a world where all of that has changed. So all the new sort of deductions and credits and all those things are factored in, and we want to make sure that you all have an opportunity to continue to grow. From my standpoint, when we think about sort of some realities that have come out of this, it's really the fact that as a result of the new property tax reform, it is pretty much clear that you have to maintain a growing community, period. And if you don't, your assessed value is systematically going down as a result of the new deductions. Okay, so in order to maintain service provision, to maintain the sort of quality of life kind of structures that have been provided, communities are going to have to continue to grow. The challenge with that is, you want to make sure that growth is very smart and efficient for the community. We don't want to set up a situation where we use 1990, 2000, 2010 economic development packages for a law that is really looking at 2030 and beyond. So anyway, hope that helps. I'll answer any questions that you may have. Thank you so much, and we're really excited to work with such a great team. I think on the compliance side, I think this is going to be a transformative opportunity for you all, and I think that we're blessed to be able to be a part of it.
Thanks, Adam. Does anyone have any questions?
I would just say thank you for putting in the work to get this done. When I'm one of the newer members on this, and one of my challenges was always understanding what the history was. Are we being consistent with, size? Also, in the new system, is it customizable to where we can add data fields?
Yes.
And is there reporting functions that we could potentially look up, how they are doing at compliance?
Yeah, great question. So I'll take those in order. First off, this is 100% customizable. This is intended to be really tailor fit to this city. So in your specific needs and perspectives. So one of the things we would be doing right after we get started is that fine tuning to make sure that it is dialed in for you. And then, yes, sir, all the reporting is on demand. All the kind of dials, all those things will train your teams. And the way that it's being sort of delivered to you all is that we'll defer to the city on if you all want access or anything like that. That's all possible. It would be up for the city to decide.
Perfect.
Adam, a very excellent presentation.
Thank you.
Yeah, super excellent.
Thank you. I'm personally very excited. I think this is a worthy problem. I think that I think that the days of sort of like the reality is you have a finite amount of land, right? That's the reality. So we want to make sure our heart was that we wanted to give a tool that you all could take ownership of, take possession of, and make it something that you all could be really proud of. I personally believe this is going to have a massive return on investment for the city. When you think about the tens of millions of dollars that flow through these projects on an annual basis, if the tool can help you all make just even incrementally better decisions there, there's a massive, massive opportunity for you all.
Can you give us an example of how you've, maybe not in the weeds,
Yeah.
but a generalized example of maybe how you've seen this work
Yep, I'll give you.
to our communities?
Yeah, I'll give you two. I'll give you one on sort of what I would call an aha moment. I like that term. It's like the light bulb, the light bulb going off. And then I'll give you another one that just shows you sort of the I think the experience that you all will have going forward and using it. One on the aha moment, we've realized that a lot of the discussions that come around sort of economic prioritization, like what projects to pursue, we've seen a lot of aha moments there, meaning that in the discussion, and basically one of the benefits of this is that for any of the systems thinkers up there, like one of the benefits of the system is that you have to think in the terms of a system, right? It can't be just like, oh, he knows that person or she knows that person. It's like, how do you quantify that, right? How do you quantify that? So I would say that is some of the aha moments we've seen, specifically as it relates to, oh my, I didn't even know that characteristic about that property type. For example, this is not related to that, but just to kind of illustrate the point, in a local income tax world in 2028 that's residency-based, not HQ job-based, okay, you all of a sudden have a discussion on like, well, do we want the CEO on the 10-acre lot with the big house? Or do we want sort of a more dense residential picture where, so there's things like that have those conversations that have emerged that are community specific, that have only really emerged as we get on the talk track that is relation of kind of what are those kind of priorities. The second, as far as the potential benefit to your community financially, would be looking at an incentive request. And in this case, that incentive request was millions of dollars. And within a few moments of working that project, it was able to reduce that by an order of magnitude of about $500,000. So I think that gives you two illustrations of how I think this will benefit your communities. One is just the discussions and kind of getting that sort of discipline and getting that organization of what those things are, having that quantitative analysis at the fingertips of your team, as opposed to relying on, hey, let's send it out to a consultant or wait 6 weeks or whatever. It's just on the ready. And then secondly, as a result of that on the readiness, it allows for you to have a more fluid exchange with data to essentially
Substantiate our
essentially
decisions,
substantiate a different position. I hope that helps. Does that answer your question?
Yeah.
Okay, thank you. So anyway, I'm super excited. We're excited, and I think this is an excellent team. We're grateful to work with you all. And as we get into it, if there's any questions, feedback whatsoever, we're here to make sure this is a tremendous success for the city of Franklin.
Okay, thanks, Adam.
Thank you.
So just to kind of let you know how we could see this and envision this, one of the things that this program will be able to do, instead of me sitting down and sending out 54 individual emails every January and all of that stuff, this program will be able to do that. So it will send the information out, it will send the previous reports to these companies. Here's your deadline. Let's get it back. It will come back in. It will go into this program. It will all be consistent. It will all look exactly the same. So you will be able to compare apples to apples, which should reduce a lot of my time that I have to spend doing that and then writing all of these individual reports and all that stuff. It will do that for me. So I'm really excited about that in terms of the compliance portion of it. It will also have at your fingertips, you'll be able to pull up the whole history of rapid prototyping. They've had 3 abatements. This is how they've done on them, all that kind of stuff. So it'll all be in one location, one place to be able to pull up, which I think is going to be huge every March when we sit here for 2 hours doing all of that kind of stuff. And the portion with the abatements and future projects, just like he said, one of the things that we always struggle with are how do we quantify the number of employees when companies have multiple abatements. They come in and they say, well, we have 210 employees. And, this job or this project added 20 employees and this project added 30 employees. And it's kind of hard to keep track of that. And a lot of times the companies just send us every January, well, I have 210 employees and I have to sit and figure out what that was. This program will do that and will help us to keep that accurate so that we will know, did they really keep 22 employees for this new job? Did they really come out to the average wage? And what is the average wage? Because that's the other big thing that we've been talking a lot about, is the fact that average wage is probably not something we need to keep looking at. I think that's changing. I think what we need to know is, what is your starting wage? What is your high wage? What is your management wage? We need to be a little bit more in specific on those things, because average wages, you take a CEO that's making $150,000, but the majority of people are at the $20 an hour, that 150 will skew that. And it's hard for us to always quantify that and see that. This will be able to break that down and do that. So I think that's gonna really make a big difference, especially as Adam said, when we start looking at those local income taxes and what is that coming into, where are their employees located, how many live here in Franklin, all of those kinds of things. And we can put our own, what's important to us, what are the things that we want to know. We can put in the EDC fees. Are they willing to do that? How does that work? And what's the return on investment for them from that? What did they see out of those? So Adam is going to come next week to the RDC. He is going to talk to the RDC because, as I said, there's benefits to the RDC with this too. They can use this program as well, looking at TIF and some of their TIF projects. We can also basically do the same thing for an infrastructure project that we're going to do for an abatement project. We can run the numbers and say, okay, this makes sense. And when the mayor proposes and says we need to do this roundabout, we can show that return on investment and say, yes, it's worth it. And here's the benefits and the cost analysis of all of that. So it's going to be a multi-use tool. We are going to be asking the RDC to pay for this because this body does not have a budget. Josh wasn't willing to pay it on his own, so I mean, So we are going to ask the RDC because, again, this is something Plan Commission can use, we can use, a lot of different groups can use. If that body chooses to move forward with this, if you guys choose to move forward with this, what we would like to do is we'll probably sit down starting in January. Next year I will be doing basically what I'm doing now. We're going to run this program beside it, making sure that everything's working. It's got all the data that we want. Adam will do specific projects and we'll be able to bring it to you periodically and kind of show you so that we can transition from one to the next and get all the data correct. Because it is going to take some time to input that data first. But once we get in there, then by 27, everything should be flowing. So that's going to be the goal. Mayor, I don't know if you had anything else that you wanted to add with that, or I know you've been heavily involved in this as well.
Good morning. No, I just think maybe we need a motion and a recommendation to the city or to the RDC that we would like for them to finance it. It shows unity as we move forward of where we're at. I can tell you, when Adam showed this to us, we were there for, you were here about 5-10 minutes. We were about an hour and a half going through the whole program, and it's pretty in-depth and pretty entailed. So there's more to it than what Adam just showed us. So I think it's going to be a helpful tool moving forward, especially, like Adam said, with the new tax law that's rolling out. So that's all I got to add.
Yeah. Yeah, that is a good point. Adam is happy to sit down. Like I said, there's some proprietary information here, so we can't do it out in a public meeting, but we can do an executive session, and he can specifically pull a project up and show you exactly. So if you're interested in that, let me know. Happy to set that up.
Is there any other platforms out there that are similar?
None that I'm aware of.
So you built it?
Built this 100% from the ground.
Yeah, I love it.
Yeah.
Do we have any comments, questions? I mean, I think it's great, obviously. So, then I would like to have a motion to recommend to the RDC that we do move forward with the Stone Municipal software. Do we have a motion?
I'll make a motion that we move forward with the software and RDC pay for it.
I second that.
We have a first and a second. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Anyone opposed? So it does pass unanimously. So thank you, Adam.
Thank you all so much. We're excited.
Thank you. All right.
Probably should ask how much first.
It doesn't matter, we're not paying.
Doesn't matter.
Dad's paying it.
Yes.
EDC meeting dates 2026, anything pop out there?
No, we don't have any dates. They should all fall on that second Tuesday of the month, so everything should stay the same. I have the application deadlines, council meetings, so that you guys can all see that, but they're out and set and ready to roll for you guys.
Okay. Anybody have anything else?
Do we need to
Merry
approve it?
Christmas.
Do we need to approve the calendar?
By consensus is fine.
Okay.
Okay.
Everyone okay with the dates?
Yep.
Yep.
Good.
All right. Do we have a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Second.
We have a first and a second. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
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 Anyone opposed? So we are adjourned.
Thank you.